camera apparently.
Okay, I'm recording now.
All right.
Otherwise I'll forget.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order, and I'm going to start with a roll call. Tamika Vukovic. Here, just wave if you don't want to.
Here.
There we go. There we go. And Andrew Franklin here. Motion for approval of the agenda. Tamika, that's you.
So moved.
Second it, all in favor on a voice vote, signify by saying aye. Aye. She
All right.
signified with a thumb. I'm going to consider that an approval. The ayes have it.
All
Any
right,
opposed? No.
Oh,
There
sorry.
we go. Just making sure. All right, new business,
All right.
classroom telephones.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 things on the agenda tonight. The first 3 are all updates from Ms. Johnson. So I will let her take it away.
So we just wanted to provide an update. We started working on this before Jim Beckman left, is putting having telephones back in classrooms. Right now they were using the 3CX software with their computer, and we were having a lot of issues with teachers not being able to hear the calls coming in, the app not working, and there were just some situations where, you need to be able to call the office and safety was a concern. And it was creating a lot of extra work for our office staff because they weren't able to reach teachers to be able to have kids come down for early release or different situations like that.
So we had run a test with Mr. Beckman because the app is on your computer, so it can ring on the computer, it can ring on your cell phone. Well, most teachers put their cell phones away because that's good role modeling, right? Since kids have their cell phones away. So we did a test one day and Jim called me and we could not hear it on my computer that was open right next to us. And so then he called the company to see if we could adjust the volume and did not get very far with that. So walkie-talkies are great, but we only have one. It's one walkie-talkie pretty much. Like it's just random who has the walkie-talkies. And then if you're talking about student discipline, everybody can hear it on every walkie-talkie in the building. So there's just not that privacy. So we asked
The
Mr.
only
Beckman to
reason
look
I'm
into it.
laughing
Go for it, Tamika. You can start.
is because this is, and I'm gonna swear, this is the same damn thing we argued when they took them out of the school. Andy, do you remember saying
remember.
every exact word she just said in the meeting?
Yeah, you and me.
This is why I get so frustrated with districts, because this happened not even less than a year ago. It
No,
was
it
right
happened
before
while-
COVID. I know it's not you, but what I'm saying, it was right before COVID.
Yes.
Andy and I were on this committee. We were together. We were like, why are you taking it? It's this. It seems like we go around in a circle for so many different things over and over again. Make this discussion very quick because
Yeah.
I know I forgot. I'm not.
I think Tamika and I are
Can we
going to
make this
agree.
quick so we can get on with the other business that we have?
How much, I guess my question for you is, what are you recommending as the solution? And, will there be much financial impact to it?
It'll be about $7,000, and that's including putting a physical phone in every classroom in both Parkway and Glen Hills. And we have to use the phone company that we use, which is 3CX. So it's not something that we'd be able to go out to bid because they handle all the programming, or like they handle the phones themselves. And then Kevin, our internal, would be able to help with the programming itself. But they gave us a quote of about $7,000.
So I got to ask, because I don't know the answer to this offhand, but I remember we had the phones and that the new system was going to make the phones inoperable. But so are we basically saying that because this is now VoIP, that the phones were plugged into a regular line, and so the phone lines themselves are unusable? Is that it?
I don't know about the physical phones themselves, but I know they told me that the cables and everything in there are all still usable. I can clarify with Kevin a little bit more about that. But they said the only thing we would need to be able to actually make it up and running is the physical phones. I don't know where they were placed once they got taken out of the classroom before. I don't know if there was one in every classroom before. I mean, they're
So
not
this
in
is-
storage. I
there-
haven't seen it.
There were.
Okay.
Yeah, they were supposed to be in every classroom or in most of the classrooms, certainly. And then supposedly they were, I can't believe that. Look, long story short is whatever you need to do to make this right. We had extensive discussions on this, and at the end of the day, we were told, although I think both of us voted against it, we were told it'll be perfect, it'll be fine. Do what's right. I that's all that I need to say. I'm sure it's all.
But we
Keith
have
wants
this
to hear.
under discussion, so we can't vote on it, right? Am I
Right.
correct?
Right,
Yeah,
we just wanted to
we
bring
can.
it to you guys and
Yeah,
start the
you should have brought
conversation.
it to us so we can vote on it.
Send it up
Anytime
to
you
the
have this
board.
stuff-
Yeah,
It's not going to the regular, it doesn't need to go to the full board.
is it it's 7,000, right?
It has to,
Mhm.
over
So then it would
5,000.
need board approval, so we could just put it on there.
All right, put it on.
Okay.
It'll be
But
quick.
we didn't tell you to put it on because you don't have an action item. So any from now on, I would suggest that you put discussion possible action item when you have discussion stuff, so we
Okay.
know.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, the next one is security cameras.
So
Oh, I'm
we,
sorry, Andy, I took your spot. I said your thing.
what?
You're supposed to say, that's Andy. I just went to the next agenda item. That's Andy, not me. Sorry.
Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
So we had a vendor come in and take a look at our security cameras. We had some concerns just with the angles and the placement of some of our cameras. They're not covering the doorways. And then we also don't have a camera in our pool, which is a huge liability. So it's not replacing any of the physical cameras. It's just potentially like changing the angles and maybe getting a couple more in some of the areas that we're missing, like especially the pool. And also just, we're having some issues with the network where they go to review the camera footage and it's not connected. So it's possible like just updating a software system.
Yeah,
How
we had,
much?
oh, sorry.
What was that?
How much?
Oh, we don't have a quote yet. We just had somebody start coming in to look at it. So Kevin drew up a map of all the camera angles and then they're looking at, are we able to utilize the cameras the way they are? Do we have to get another one in a certain doorway? So once we have it laid out and they're gonna walk through with the building principals just to see if they know of any areas that could use better footage. And then once he comes back with the quote, we'll come back with that.
I have a dumb question, which is, can't you just like move? I mean, I know that some of these are stationary, but I guess I gotta ask the question. If the camera isn't covering, the angle, and I understand there's not a remote control here, but can't we just physically move them?
Some of them, yes, and sometimes it's just the placement of the camera. Like, is it,
Yeah.
like, there's not even one that shows the front office at Glen Hills Middle School. Like, it shows somebody walking up to the office, but there's nothing like
I would love
showing.
to have that window covered. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
So there's just some areas that we just want to make sure that we're having clear footage as well, and just for safety too, so.
And especially the pool area, like we had a student slip and fall and, not being able to go back and see what happened. Like that's an area you definitely want a camera. So.
Can I ask a question? May I ask a question?
Go
Why
ahead.
is this, why is this on there when you don't have anything to tell us?
So we were
I'm
just
trying to really get us to you haven't gotten quotes. This is an idea that you are bringing to us. So if you you don't need permission to get quotes. If you say you're the director, you say, this is what we need. So I went out and got quotes. This is what we're doing. Now that's when we say, all right, you got the quotes, but we don't want it, or we don't think it is, but we're discussing something that has to come back on the
I think we
agenda
had-
again for.
We had a couple of canceled meetings. This is informing us about an issue. I think it's great communication and something to talk about. And then we can also interject.
And I'm
ideas.
glad you gave your opinion as I gave mine. That's
Thank
all.
you. The only other thing I'd throw in there though is, can we have the police come over and give consults? Is that something that they can do? I
Yeah.
mean, they'll probably say some of the same thing. And by the way, Kevin, thank you for doing all the work that you're doing on that. It sounds like, like you're really doing a lot. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, Kevin's a rock star. He knows the camera, he knows everything. He's a wealth of knowledge. So he's been
Kevin is camera shy.
fantastic.
So I
All
just
right.
want to say duly noted. Thank you, Ms. Vukovich. We will get quotes first before we bring it to the meeting.
So I'll take the feedback and good to know. I will make
Yep.
sure that next time it comes up, it'll be hard, fast numbers.
Okay,
Good.
That's it.
number C or number 2C, summer custodians.
We brought this up in finance and personnel, but I just wanted to bring it to B&G that we have all of the summer custodians hired for the summer. We brought up back a lot of the ones from last summer, and then we have there's 3 more actually current employees that they're hired for the summer. So it's going to be a total of 7.
Question.
Mhm.
Jim was really adamant about this. I mean, he liked the fact that he had these people. I always had a issue where we are giving these very good jobs to the same people, and there always seem to be a particular group, and we have no diversity or anything in the group that we have because they're always parents of the kids or parents of the this, and we don't have options to let other people have these great summer jobs. I always want to bring that in. It's nepotism that are, the people are getting these jobs from nepotism, basically. They're, sons or daughters of our teachers, or now I understand some of those keep coming back year after year, and I get that. But then when we have new ones, we're nepotism. Oh, she's so cute.
So I don't know how it was posted in years past, but what we did for this year was we sent out a mass email to all the staff. So that's why we've had 3 new people come in this year.
But it's still all of staff using their staff family or their staff kids, instead of there could be people in the Nicolay who, that has no connection to our staff, that we might be able to help some of our high school kids or.
No, that's definitely, I'll keep in mind for next year.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
It's just that we have a whole community of people, and we could even say, Glendale residents. So there's a lot of our teenagers that need jobs here that could do this work.
Yeah, and we could do a dual, like we could post it outside and inside. I think the thought was, some of our paras obviously don't, like when the school year ends, their job ends. So wanting to be able to offer that so that they.
But
had
that's
some-
different. That is a lateral move and giving them jobs too. But I'm just saying and I don't have a problem with that. It's
And
just
isn't
some
that,
of
is
the,
that most of the people are
Yeah,
paraprofessionals?
though we had 2 paras and a teacher that are coming in for the summer to help. Which I was surprised about. I thought they would do summer academy, but nope.
But we can still do both, Tamika.
Mhm.
We can post it internal and outside. Just to open it up.
one of our teachers who under contract is doing.
So their contract ends.
I understand.
Yeah.
I know what their contract is. I'm just saying one of our teachers is, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, moving along then. Parkway Gardens, Cub Scout trees, item 2D.
So, just to keep our space beautiful, I just wanted to give you guys an update. I didn't think this necessarily needed to, I wasn't sure if it needed to come to the board, but just as a, so you guys know what's in the works. So Dr. Smith and Mr. Krieger and I met with a parent. She originally reached out at the beginning of January. She's a 4th grade mom, and she's actually getting her horticulture license and her master gardener certification. So she wanted to jump in and help out with that garden over at Parkway. So we met with her. She wants to do some like low maintenance perennials, work on getting people to come in and help with weeding. We talked about if she does vegetables and things like that, how we could get that out to the community. So we had a whole conversation with her, then she came back with a plan. So her plan is, and I mean, it's just mostly a bunch of, so lots of vegetables, kale, Brussels sprouts, stuff like that. And then she also wants to do sunflowers, pumpkins, because she thought that could be used for some of the activities they do, like around harvest and fall fest and all that stuff over at the school. And she did some research on sensory gardens, because that's one of the things that Mr. Krager talked about. And they're really interesting. So that's something we thought about for the future. If we had a space for kids, just for some of those sensory needs to be able to go out and use it. But it's just such a beautiful, there's so much potential there. And so she's actually gonna be one of our thank yous at the board meeting, because she's jumping in and creating some plans and willing to try to get some volunteers and organize people coming in to help with the garden over there. And then we did
But-
talk a little bit about the middle school, because we have some teachers that do some science activities, and if those kids could come over and help too.
And just remember, Lindsay, our gardens have qualified for grant money through ag. And I'm wondering if we're looking at any of that grant money that the state has, that I know one year we were late on it, but our garden at Parkway could have gotten like a $10,000 grant to help upscale, put dirt in there, buy plants, whatever it is, because, and then especially if you are growing any kind of vegetables in there, I will see if I can find, because I know they still do that grant, but if I can find it, it'll help you from not having to, try to search for it.
That would
But
Oh, that would be great.
I will ask Senator Taylor, because she's been big on urban ag, and she knows where all these grant things are. So that'll, money, and maybe help her do some stuff. So that's what I like to hear.
I have a
Absolutely, yeah.
couple quick questions for you. One that you reminded me of, and one just about how this works. If we're going to plant garden vegetables, what are we going to do with the vegetables besides the pumpkins? I mean, would we use them in school? Would we, donate them?
We talked
which
about
one?
doing it like, yeah, we talked about organizing like certain times when we know certain things are gonna be harvested, then advertising for families that they can actually just come and take. So that it'd be almost like a garden food pantry.
Are they still working on the food pantry that we wanted to do?
That one's actually kind of been paused. We paused that project. Because there were some issues with where to store it, who was gonna man it, how we were gonna get families in, like in a discreet way. So there were just a bunch of, so it's not gone, but we did talk about that like right when I started, and then we just sort of paused that one for now. But I know it's still something the foundation has talked about supporting.
Okay.
And then,
The second piece of that was the Cub Scout trees. So the Cub Scouts would like to plant some trees at Parkway. They have a little map of all the different ones they want to plant. So we were just going to have Deere's hotline come in just to make sure that not going to hit any power lines and make sure that they're good to go to plant.
That would be bad.
Yeah, we don't need a
especially
power
at
outage.
Parkway.
We don't need
Power.
that. That would be bad.
So
So yeah,
that's not- yeah.
Sorry, Andy, yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, I just didn't want to go too far off track, but it reminded me of just, our composting plan. I just wanted to confirm, are we still composting? And in school?
not that I know of.
I don't
I
think
can
so.
check with Aramark, but not that I know of.
Because we do have compost bins, and and at one point we were doing that. And so I just wanted to, and so again, this is not quite directly on the point, but the reason why I thought about that was garden led to me thinking about composting food. And I'm just not sure what the recycling composting is going on. If we just check on the status of that, I'd appreciate it.
Yep,
Absolutely.
made a note.
Okay.
That was all we had.
That's all I had.
All right.
Okay.
I'm a little bit missing Jim Beckman, but thank
I
you, Lindsay,
know.
for stepping in.
We should have
This
just
is my
brought a
first meeting
picture.
without Jim. Big Jim.
I
He could
thought
have
about,
came in and just looked.
I have his picture on my bulletin board, his little school picture. I thought about bringing it.
I'll figure out a way to make it
But-
my background. I'll make
Yeah,
a picture
make
of
your
it.
background right there, right on the side. Jim Beckman lives forever, always. Meetings.
All right, well, let's move on to visitor participation then. 3A, anyone who is here to speak on a non-agenda item at this time, state law and or board policy may limit our response.
There's nobody here.
There is Mr. or Ms. iPhone who is here.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Tamika, I just wanted to say I am a teacher that is the summer custodian. I just like to clean. That's all. The only reason I got this board was because there was something about summer custodians. I like to teach. I also like to clean.
I'm just trying to make sure that I keep an eye on everyone.
No, I know.
All
I
right.
don't want you going to
only
the
reason
fact
I
that you
did it.
were teaching and then all of a sudden you are more concerned about cleaning and you want to leave teaching to clean. See, I have an issue with that then.
I didn't say
No career changes here. We
It's
are
just
losing
less
good
stressful.
teachers.
I just like
But
to
I'm-
clean.
But I'm a little nervous that you might, because our custodial staff is the bomb, and you might like them more than you like the administration, and then it's done.
I was just hanging out in his classroom today, Tamika.
I'm
I
gonna
was
be
hanging out.
watching you.
I like kids. So we're still good. I can clean on the
Okay.
side and teach for life. You know?
Yeah,
But I'm gonna be watching you. I don't want you trying to hang out with Kevin too much and looking at
Oh,
what
I'm at the
Kevin
middle
does
school.
in awe, because you're like, God, he gets to clean all day. No,
No,
my husband is that kind.
I
All right,
promise.
well, I'm done messing with you.
well, we're still in visitor participation, and we have another board member who's shown up who I think is joining
Shannon, let's hurry up.
her capacity.
Motion to it.
There was by the way, this happened to me too, but Ms. Bailey was
People,
indicating there was a link issue. And I don't know, I had a link issue with the meeting recently too, like something getting cut off. So I'm not sure what's happening with that or if that's a continuing problem.
Well,
But-
I got on it with the link.
I did too, but I also think that Ms. Bailey was certainly able to assess.
just-
I'm
wanted to
here.
come.
It's I'm tech challenged. It might have been
She
me,
just
but
wanted to hang out with the cool kids.
I copy and pasted from board docs and that worked. So sorry. Go on.
She
I was trying to
wanted-
come up with a nice way to say, I'm sure you know how to click a button.
She wanted to hang out with the cool kids.
But anyways, yeah, we've gone through the agenda, so it's visitor participation. So
Oh,
it's all
sorry.
your stage.
Nope. I just wanted to hear. Never mind. I'll follow up with somebody. I was curious about the security cameras, but don't worry about me.
We don't
Oh.
have
Quick
any
meeting.
information because they don't have anything to give us.
That's the long story short. As we found out, there are a couple of cameras that could use better placement, and a couple of places put more cameras in. So they're going to solicit some quotes and some consultation.
They're gonna give us some information.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And over communicate, Tamika.
We've learned from that agenda item.
Yes, you can. You definitely can. I'm
All right.
sorry. This is what is today? This
there anyone
my
else?
9th meeting in 9 days, so.
Is
You
there
have to
anyone else who
adjourn
wants to
Andy for you stop
participate?
recording.
If there's anyone else who wants to participate, I'm going to close visitor participation on the count of 1, 2. Okay, we're closed. Motion for A. Is there a
I do have
motion?
a suggestion first.
Oh, you're out of
When
order.
I was the
No
board chair,
suggestion
I
allowed.
had theme music for B and G.
You
Was
did,
bad
I
enough.
remember it.
Visitor participation is closed, so no
So
theme
we need
music
to
for
bring
today.
that back. I'm not a visitor, so I'm just letting you know. I think we should bring theme music back to the B and G.
We are a modern series as opposed to an 80s series, so we eschew any theme music.
Just
And,
theme music in general.
and focus on the hard substance, the grit,
Of theme
the
music,
realism.
because that's why I used to have 15 to 20 people coming into my meetings.
You know,
You don't.
Ms. Vukovic, I just want to say that you and I
Motion to
disagree on many
adjourn.
things. We agree on many things, but I do
And
not
motion's on the
believe.
floor. Chair,
I do not believe that the thing that's going to get us
Motion on the
over
floor,
the edge and
Chair.
fighting against each other is the issue of theme music for B and G. I think this
Call
is
the
going to
question.
be resolved somehow, and it will
Any,
involve no theme music.
what else do I have to say? Proceeding, what else? What else can I say? Do we have a lax in proceeding there? Yeah. I have a motion on the floor.
All right, I'll second that motion. All in favor of the voice vote to adjourn? Aye.
I ask for a roll call vote, please.
Oh, my God.
All right.
I'm so
no.
glad I
D'Amica
tuned in.
Mokovic.